Hey audience, how you doing? Welcome back. This is Hambbage. It's good to see you again. Glad to know you're tuning in. I hope you're enjoying these videos, and we've got another one coming for you right now. Let's get the slide out of the way and get going. Now with additional stuff. Let's go see if we can track some of that good stuff down. Here we go. So RL many hours passed since last video when we got this awesome new netherite pickaxe. I'm gonna give it a test whirl here. We got just a few items to cozy back up, but I think our plan to begin at least is to replicate our efforts from the end of the last episode. Let's go back and see what more we can do in terms of netherite gathering out of our little pit in the nether. We'll give that a whirl here, but I think we got gravel to get rid of first. Here. And we got quartz and blackstone over on this side. And if you guys will all bear with me, and you really have to, there's no, well, I mean, there's an option, but you're not going to leave, right? That would make me sad. And I don't want to be sad. I think we'll just quickly go ahead and do what repairing we can on the other diamond pick while we've got it here. We had just kind of dumped these off at the end of the last episode. We knew time was tight, but it was a little tighter than we had. Now, again, I don't think we're going to go through all the picks that we have, even if we just solely mined through the whole episode. Make sure everything's right here. But we have the resources here. Let's just go ahead and do it, and then if we just wear down our netherite pick, hopefully with its bit of extra durability, anything that we gather up on this trip will just be kind of a bonus. So be nice. And again, we don't have. I think we should come out of this ahead of where we ended up after the last one, because we'd done so much just tunneling at the surface there. Really a lot more wear and a lot less. You know what? I bet this is where we ended up with that random quartz in the last one. I bet we popped it through the portal. Maybe. Can't say for certain, but let's just start a little bit back. One more block doesn't make a difference, but it's kind of a pain to have to put away individual pieces of the actual quartz as opposed to the block, just as we're trying to get started on mining. So musical. Ding, 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 ding. So yeah, just pull it back just a bit. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day out there in audience land. The future, if you will. I hope all's going swimmingly for you. As I kind of foretold in the last episode, I'd been out early and it was kind of overcast and not a bad day at all, but the clouds have begun to open up now, and I don't know exactly if it's supposed to be, kind of off and on or more on now, but I think we're definitely trending in that wet direction, so I may get a few episodes up. I think I've got like 2 or 3 more daily Dreadmore updates coming, but I may, I like having that just kind of out there and assured content in the bank, right? It's something that will continually be available. Oh, it's cool. So close. There we go. Now let's top these off if we can. There's that. Our axe is, I think, in good shape anyway. I think we'd topped it off before, but let's just check it. Well, both of them could use just a trickle more. Let's get everything good, right? And then we'll put the rest of these blocks away. There's the hoe done. And just have them on deck, ready to go. Okay, that's enough. Again, we're not going to need the axe or the hoe. Oh. Where we're headed, we'll definitely take a totem. Fortune axe back in here where we don't confuse it. Make the blocks. All right, very close to set. What did I put the shovel away instead of the axe? Oops. Miscue there. We'll ready up a fire-breathing potion. Fire-breathing? It's like that. Effectively, we do need to breathe when we're under the lava, so all in all, I am kind of wondering, let's just go into our distance here, because we've got some big stretches, and, I think we've kind of worked our area there. You never know what good or bad fortune we're going to have when we do some more mining, but we're going through a lot of lava for kind of limited returns, right? There's a lot on the one side. I don't think we're big enough here to really warrant a prolonged look. See, and we can kind of intersperse this with some above ground running too. I'd really like to get a few of these picks. It doesn't have to be all 5, although that would be great, but getting the picks clad, then we can kind of run the top and, just gather up a whole bunch of, oh man, this is what I didn't want, was just the stuff sitting there until we next return and filling up our inventory. Alright, here's the first bastion. Not sure that's the best area, but we may come back this way because I think this is kind of the beginning of a first continent, if you will, of underground stuff. We go quite a ways here. And there's some little pockets, but no massive seas. Oh, who's coming? Ooh. Who says we haven't been doing enough combat? So yeah, we'll come up to an edge here, wherever those may be. A little bit of a lava lake, but not a vast opening. Well, I guess at some point we should throw gold too and pick up that advancement. All right, this is perfect. So we can go all the way up to our corner here, and we'll just position ourselves to head back the way we came. I think I need a spare one on me. You don't need any of this stuff, really. Ooh, stems. Let's put those away. And well, that's junk, but yeah, I don't think we're going to carry too far. We'll bring that with us. Now, this is the only real challenge. Is I don't think I want to mix our turn with the opening. Because I think once we, I could frame it all back in, whatever. But by being able to enter here at the turn, once we have the ice down and everything, that'll be like a stop on our ice boats, because they're squirrely. They're tough to steer get necessarily. So not something where overly that is very, very tough to speak and place blocks, apparently, for the likes of me. Are you kidding me? So this is kind of the question. How far back do we really need to go? I don't know that it's this far, really, but we'll see. Let's begin where this magma annoyance is. May as well, right? Replace there. Guess it didn't work out quite as well as I'd hoped, but it's a little better than nothing. And it's not liquid yet, so that's good. And we get it on the wall, so it's kind of lit up and cool looking. Again, why the wind? Is that from the heat of the various lava features stirring the atmosphere that's in here, whatever atmosphere there is? Don't know. Hey, we reached the bottom of it. Alright, where are we? 5 more to go. very piggy. Oh. Hopefully just a one-off, not a sign of things to come. Ah, missed it. Oh, I still hear some bubbles and plops. Well, at least we got a few more in. Ooh, there's some blackstone. Now we do have bastion up ahead in our transport tunnel. And I don't know what that, frankly, what that means for down here. 2 more. Alright, that's our target, right? I do know I like quartz. Okay, we'll fill that up a little bit. So next plan, I think, is we're gonna run west. This is, you know, the direction of the Badlands biome, and two bastions through there, everything. See how far we can get, and again, before we get to a long, large lava where we kind of break in, and it's just massive. There's no one in sight. We'll try to deal with small pockets if we can, especially if they don't go out that way a huge distance. So we'll try to go as far as we can with the idea that we'll then make our runs back this way, knowing at least on the surface there aren't massive lava lakes going back that way. So here we go. Yeah, no, you can't really get much faster with the netherite pick, but it should hold up to our runs a little bit better. And for starters, at least, now go. We had to get something at some point. Now, this being the one that I think will kind of set up as our wider run, I'll just go ahead and try to clear these 2 rows. Ooh, I thought that was going to be lava coming down. Much as we can. And then this would be the one that we'd put the torches on, and we can go, I don't know how far it'll go out beyond the path that we've already cut, but that's what we'll find out. Learn by doing. Again, don't know if this is foundation levels of the remnants or just regular pockets. There were some snorts, so might have been a sign. This looked maybe more substantial. Just see if... Oh, man. That wasn't what we wanted. But it didn't come... we can't do it. Alright. We're at full health. Let's just go see what we're in for. If it's super big, which it looks like. That stops that. Now, this I think is our pathway. And we'll just see how... Ooh. Not too terribly wide. Definitely looks to go a ways in that direction. Oh. Well, that didn't... that didn't do it. Oh, no. We went too deep. Is that... Alright. Yeah, I got a couple of these. Okay. Well, that was just unfortunate. There's that. 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 Ooh. May as well deal with all this that we can. While we can. That's our level, I think. Oh. Now, if and when we ever get all the way out here, we're going to have a bunch more lava work to do, and that may make us go in a different direction. But honestly, by the time we get that far, if this is indeed our biggest obstacle, we can, we'll be certainly well enough equipped. We could make a bunch more potions now. Indeed, we still have a number still in supply, so don't think that's gonna be a real problem for us here. Okay, it looks like us done. And back into this. We're just going to widen here because while we're insulated here, best to get that. Ooh, and because we find goodies like this. We did pick those up, right? 2. Good. I think that's all we'll find, but 2's better than we were doing at the end of the last episode when we were just getting 1 at a time. Got enough to do this pig, so no complaints here. We still have a bit of the potion left. While we do, if we're gonna poke through this is the way to do that. Something, nope, just slow. Is it worth grabbing all that quartz? Maybe not, technically, but, hey, we can. Two here, so we want to fill all of that hole. Yeah, I forgot I was really looking to do this at a width of 3. Again, if we're gonna see them better right now than when we aren't equipped. Don't know that we're we're quite done here. Oh, that's kind of handy though. If we were gonna make it out. Some point here, I should just call it good. We seem to be well under the sea of lava. And limited returns and all that. I think we are so far out beyond where we could want to be that we kind of fight it. But now what we should do... Oh, I thought I'd turn back. If this is our end, let's put a double torch there. Yeah. Apparently my potion is now worn off. Oh, really? Whatever. Oh, we didn't fill in that hole. Okay, so we at least dealt with some of the bigger, or we may have individual holes like that. Okay. Fill up this one. Fill up. Finish up. And hopefully this all just becomes very kind of boring. Boring would be nice. That means we're most efficiently picking up Oh, you know, I never did any of that lava was to clear up my inventory at all. Oh, didn't really mean to have an apple, but we got lots. Alright. Yeah. Oh, well, they're still bouncing. Get all the way in. Alright, we'll switch that. Maybe hold on to the gravel. Oh, of course. Come on. Wow, that's not. Alright. Get. Seriously? Just let me move. Alright. We'll finish up. That flow is just ridiculous, though. Okay. We got 1, 2, 3. Alright, I hope that wasn't just a total waste of a potion, but if it was, it means we're being more efficient, so not the end of the world there. Too much. Well, a little bit more. I don't know if that was in one that we'd already discovered or not, but... Oh. Fire-proof potion certainly doesn't immune us from gravel asphyxiation. Alright, so we have a formidable stretch here. Let's go to this end of really good opportunity to run a bunch of side-by-side channels. So, you know, this can probably meet all our needs. I'm not going to be really too fastidious about how often having a lit up stretch like this will stand out as we come back to it with any of our channels. So not that it'll matter, but let's get rid of that. Because souls and yuck. Hi. I don't know if torches help with that at all or not. If regardless of light, those guys will spawn. Kind of think they will. And I have a feeling that's just out of proximity to the remnants above. So, a little bit of a trade, but hey, it'll give us some entertainment as we're searching for netherite. And the trick on those is going to be if those axe guys come. They could be big trouble. One thing I wouldn't be to have one, I wonder. Bear with me just a sec here. I don't have it in there. Haven't filled... Oh, yeah, we got a quartz here. This will be fun to try to rediscover. Do I see it in there? I think I have water and milk, but... Oh, we can do this. I think I would like to have a lava bucket. Or not a bucket, but a little pool of lava where I can dump trash kind of back here before we leave. So we'll set that up. Let's surround it. Man, I got too much junk here. Kind of thinking like this. And then we'll have space here to put in our chests and not just have the netherite crumble around them. Because not fun. And all that. Now all I have to do is remember. How likely that is, no one can tell, but... Alright. Pick this up. And then when we get our bucket, we'll just drop it right in that hole. And we won't be able to step into it accidentally, but it'll have proximity. Be pretty good. So, with that, at the moment we're full up. Okay, there we go. Now, trick here, you can only grab a bucket at a source, not at a... So, that goes... Might be, might be, might be next potion time. Okay, well there's that. Now we got sorting to do. I guess this is one thing I should... We'll break it the other direction. So I don't need that anymore. Get these two. So I'd like... What did I just do with the bottles? Put one in the wrong place. Okay. Hey! Oh! Run! They don't like chests, remember. But I didn't know they would be quite so close to... So I was wondering, is that all my fire reses? We might as well grab up what we've got. Put that back in there. Yep, I went. I don't think we need anything else out of here. It away. And if we're not going to dump that, might as well store it. Alright, let's get down there and then drink and go. It's all those seconds. Precious. Ooh. Also want that. You out of the way. What do we got? That is our deal. Fortunately, no... Come on. Well, certainly glad I had the potion for that. That was, And in the spirit of game justice, right? You know, it's kind of always one of those things. You use a potion, and then you never see whatever it is you're protecting against by using that potion. If that's what it costs us to get a long run, hey, I will take it. Also, just like to kind of try to verify that we're picking up blackstone when we go through it. Well, this doesn't seem small, does it? Not small at all. Well, I guess that kind of defines our range, at least for this early part, because I'm not going to try to fill all that in or fight it. So we'll just kind of seal off this top bit. Remove whatever sources are still here. And consider this the terminus of our tunnel. Maybe back a little bit, where it started dripping on our heads. Before we get too far, and before our fire res. No! There. There. What? Ah! There. Just a little cleanup here. I guess we can kind of leave this as a further endpoint marker. If you see the flowing lava across the path, you've gone too far, kind of deal. Now, I would like to go back. We'll see how jammed up this gets us, but gather up some of the quartz and gold and all the rest of it that we just ran through. We did go pretty far. This is a good run. Unfortunately, I didn't notice. Sometimes we were moving too fast, especially if you got the flames, to see maybe we passed over some more debris. I hope, but we had some quartz and some gold ore to pick up. And for all the establishment, our pick is holding up pretty well. Hasn't taken a ton of damage. But again, not world changing, right? It's not the same durability change that you get iron to diamond. More of a every little bit helps kind of bonus. I think this is the way back towards the lava. Yeah, there's the torch. Lava torch end. We can leave you. That looks like trouble. Alright, so that's everything there. Now, kind of think we got more, but also kind of think it's 2, 3, 4, right? It's better to try to deal with as much of this as we can for as long as we've got the benefit of the potions. Still sounds like the pickup noise. If we do decide to use the blackstone decoratively, this is all good pickup. We can be much more specific on that. We can just hang out at a remnant and actually mine the bricks and speed that process up too. So I don't know what that does as far as a farm, right? If we do take all that down, reduce the spawnable blocks, will that then confine any spawning of the pigmen to, or not the pigmen, the piglins and whatever, brutes and all the rest of them, to a specific area? Can we maybe confine them to a particular killing area? I don't know. I'd like to. Alright. Maybe not the easiest to deal with. Alright. If we know it's gonna be bad, just take our medicine. Take our medicine, go fast. And now that I just burned up all those spare blocks, I guess we need to do that anyway. So let's just see if we can't do ourselves a favor, our future selves a favor for that next row, since we have this full potion and hopefully won't have a ton more of this stuff to deal with. Oh no. Oh, whew. Maybe just enough. And I think we sealed all this off well enough to clear it out. Alright, there we go. So now in that next run, at least that one won't be a reason to have to use a new potion. Or maybe many other reasons, but to the extent we could. So here, let's define our height. Floor is really the preferred way to go, but back on track. And these are the sections where, hey, maybe we just ran over some, look at that, some ancient debris, and we just don't even know it yet. Certainly possible. So now we'll go redo this loop, clean up any remaining loots. Clear out the riffraff. Yeah, I thought there was more. There was more to be found along here. Apparently not, though. Oh, that's a shame. And we've totally struck out so far. Well, we've got 2 pieces, and those were on our, like, pre-tunnel. Here's the other thing I want to do while we're still potioned up. See how far out we can run in this direction. And this may not be a forever end, but it's certainly a long haul. We can bounce back and forth between these two. So how far we went. This may be a bit misguiding, but at least for the first few, we knew that that lava lake was huge. I was just walking and saw no end in sight. Now, you can't see very far. You only get like 2 blocks of visibility range, and there's some lava there. But oh, that will bug me. And there's a lava patch somewhere up here, which for the moment at least I'll leave, because it's kind of convenient. Trash disposal. Bone disposal, we don't need those. Alright. It seems like there was something else I was going to do. What? Coming out of that. Alright, so this was our return path. We definitely had some goodies here to grab. Oddly little, though. It's surprising. again, we were doing very well on that one run where we had, you know, debris it seemed like every few meters. I don't know. Each block is supposed to be a meter. I don't think they were as far as kilometers apart, but on that left-hand side, every little bit, we seem to have a new batch of them. All right, next run. Single source? No. Oh, oh no. Come on. Back into the tunnel. What? Why? Whew. Nothing like having your potion wear out. Right in the middle of a lake. And I probably didn't need to come back in to deal with that. I probably shouldn't have. Just open your inventory and go, but... eh. Whatever. Not a... Oh, come on. This is our top section. How far on does this little piece of work go? Oh boy. We don't have to fill all this in, really, but just having the top will give us a big advantage when we try to work back through. I think that's how we get back. Just check all this, and we can. Let's do the floor as well. We still got quite a few. Was this our path? No. I think we may have just set all that up in the wrong place, but not not much we can do about it. Just having blocks somewhere that we can anchor to in the midst is will be a nice luxury when we next come through here. There we go. think our axe will outlast our potions. Might be close though. Depends how efficient some of this work, or how much that some of this extra work we've been doing helps us out. There was some debris, I think. Check all that on the way back. Still got room to pick things up. Of course, the little pit of lava that's wide open to fall into is left open and exposed. So now on the way back, we'll probably hit that same lava field again. But it should be easier to manage. We'll have a floor under us, and we'll have a ceiling, and we just have to fill in the two sides as we go through. Maybe this is that? I don't know. Let's see. Pause to... Kind of appears so. Don't know that that's going to make a huge lot of difference to us on that next run, but every little bit helps. This would appear to maybe be the part that I prepped. Or this. Or this. Lots more lava to deal with all of a sudden. But good bang for our buck on the Oh, did that just burn up all our torches? Certainly a few. Okay. We'll be right back into the lava mix here, so might as well hang on to some of the netherrack. As long as we got room to pick up the blackstone. Potion is gone. One more of those left. Okay, now this is... Well, that doesn't help us much, does it? That might. A bit. It's kind of a creepy noise. Gotta fill all those in anyway. Then we'll reopen them. Let's push this another block. Oh, man. Oh, man. One more there. Of course, they're at diagonal odds from each other. I think we gotta go there so we can get... Oh, was that one actually? They both even to each other? Oh, oh. Everybody's good. If we can slow that a bit. This here, yeah, this is I mean, this is what you gotta do if you don't have the potions yet, so good reminder of their value, but not what I wanted, really. There. There, that. Just that. Well, if it comes down to it, now this will be like just the last little blurb and we'll be done and out, but or not. Wow. Is this our end? Did we somehow miss it? This is disturbingly large. Come on. Disturbingly large and very likely to get me lost inside of it as far as how do I get home. Home? Dry? Off fire? All I need is somebody in the comments to be like, you know what, you should really use glass so that it would look cool. Would look cool. It would just really limit our carrying capacity. Okay, I think we got some nice advance work done. Now this is our exit there. 1, 2, 3. That would be an edge. I'm just doing this. I don't care so much, I don't think, about inside the tunnel. Because if I break that, I can just fill it in from the sides without using a potion. Then this would be a gap. And if I did this right, this is our next side of our tunnel. Okay. Instead of doing something about it, I was like, I think I got to sneeze. I'm sure your eardrums, hopefully I got that mic away far enough. Appreciated the audible warning you were about to be deafened, as opposed to me focusing on clearing the mic away. Alright, so understanding that, come on, really? Potion time was limited. Did our best there. It repeatedly surprises me how how far these are. Now, granted, we just went through a huge lake of lava, and we've had to work to push out beyond that, but I can always just expect to start seeing those torches come. There we go. Alright, this time I think we'll clean. Did we go? I don't think we've gone back and cleaned the prior ones either, have we? So some work to be done there. And I think hopefully we'll have enough of the quartz here to repair the pick. So we're not even at a loss coming out of our mining, which will be very nice. Very interesting. Usually I have some kind of stream or content or something going on my TV silently while I'm recording, just some kind of visual input. And today I've got some of the first round NHL playoff games, National Hockey League, for anybody outside the U.S. or Canada that may be watching. Not familiar. So yeah, hockey playoffs just started here. That's my favorite sport. When all is said and done, hockey's what I grew up with. It's what team sports. It's what I played the most. I did a lot more running and skiing and that kind of stuff long term, and at a higher level in high school than I did with hockey. But growing up as a younger kid, that was kind of my game as a sport. Here in the U.S., football is kind of all pervasive. American football, it's so prevalent and it's so featured in terms of regular just broadcast TV as opposed to special cable sports packages and stuff. Hockey, as much as I love the game, the leagues do kind of a garbage job of managing their product. They have had some labor disputes, and things over the years that have caused strike years, and for whatever reason, they kind of view it as contention with some of the bigger leagues. I think these two are done. I don't think this one is, and I apologize if we're just gonna have to rerun. Here's some evidence of goodies to be had. So yeah, it's a little bit of a shame, but primarily here in the States, for anybody that's not familiar, ESPN is the sports channel. Cable, is the first 24-hour cable sports channel, and now reaps the rewards of kind of being the big boy. And they have the web and the television presence to kind of dictate what you get to watch, what you don't. And way back in a past labor dispute, hockey decided that was a part of the deal they didn't want to play ball with. Whatever the revenue sharing or however ESPN works with the other leagues, hockey decided that it didn't want to be a part of that. And hockey's had some of those kind of issues. It sometimes behaves very much like an elite sport, which is kind of ironic because it's so rooted in what in the United States is referred to as the Rust Belt. It's the upper Midwest, East Coast, Canada towns where you had winters, and in those, manufacturing and mining and all those types of occupations were a big part of the economy, and a lot of the factory employees and things really grew up supporting what for a very long time was a very small sport. In past years where baseball and football had domination of the radio and in the days before cable, all television, hockey and basketball really took a back seat. But hockey was so appealing regionally that it just was kind of a lifeblood. So it would get a lot of play on local and regional channels, or on the radio, on radios and those kind of things. And people just tended to support, to a greater extent, minor league play. The local club was very popular. And I could have sworn that we had seen some ancient debris. Did we never get that back? What? Is that here? Maybe it was in this second one. No, this is the one we just went down, right? Then confusion set in. Do we already go back and get that? It was kind of on this lower right tier, and I'd blown by and said, oh, there's some. Maybe I just missaw some quartz or something? I don't know, this looks pretty picked over, right? Well, that is a real shame. We got the two together on the way on that side run. This is a disappointment. Or am I just missing a row that I haven't run? Ah, there it is. Well, I thought it was on the lower end. Oh, but two. You know what that means? That's another pick. Okay. Well, apparently we missed a lot on this. Careful of that. Yeah, I guess we just missed this row altogether. I'm glad we got it now. We didn't want to leave it out. It's a good row. Some fine qualities, especially when it comes to having ancient debris. Yeah, don't pour lava all over me now. I'm kind of done with that phase. I haven't even looked at the time, no idea. But it's kind of feeling like it's maybe about that time. I don't know. We'll find out. Nothing more there. Huh. Well. Alright, do I need to check these others? Again. So anyway, hockey, as we're just running here, yeah, sometimes it kind of seems like, you know, it's acceptance across more markets is limited by kind of the arrogance or elitism of the fans. You know, they kind of take this attitude of hockey's. It's not, but hockey rules are slightly different. The lingo is slightly different. It's on ice. It's, you know, it's not, and it certainly is tougher for kids to get into. Right, there are fewer people that have a personal connection of having played the game than, say, soccer or European football, and that is directly because of the equipment. What you need to play is tougher to come across, and, you know, just needing ice, right? To play for free or mainly free, you know, you can play with a pair of used skates and you know, one stick on a lake if you live in a place where there's cold, hard freezing winters, and that was kind of the game I grew up with. But that's not available in most of the world, and it's when you then start paying for time on an artificial rink, that becomes very expensive. You know, think think all the fees that you may pay to play on a club, lacrosse or soccer or any other team, and then add in an additional fee of renting the space, and you can see it very quickly becomes very expensive. So that's a big factor. But I really thought they did a good job at last year at the beginning of the pandemic with the way that professional hockey handled their playoffs and the end of their season. For anybody that doesn't know or didn't care to see, oh, let's try this. This will probably get me into a load of trouble. He's still coming? No. Let's see if we can get an advancement here. Oh, I still want to check the time, man. We could be messing around and already well over the time. So let's pick this back up so I don't forget. Escape, check the time. 132, not bad. We can go all the way back and maybe get another axe geared up and repair this one. Alright, so we got this. And when the piglin comes for us, I wasn't ready. Okay, let's go get him angry at us. There we go. Oh, shiny. So there we go. We got an advancement. It's been a couple episodes since we've done anything very advancement-y. That's a fun one. And now we don't have to worry about carrying around gold for stuff. There's a whole bunch of trading that you can do with the piglins as well. Once you're wearing gold, then they won't be hostile to you. And you can kind of see in some of that, they won't necessarily be hostile anyway. We can, I kind of just take the matters into my own hands and shoot them when I see them now. But I think the axe guys are always hostile. Maybe. Again, this is all very subjective. But even in the bastions, you can kind of move around and they won't necessarily come after you until they do. And that's why I like to just keep them thinned down. I'd rather just treat them as all hostile. In hardcore, less doubt is better. Just treat them as hostile, and you'll be better off for it. You won't have a surprise situation you weren't planning on. So we got back this helmet. But you can't, even if they become hostile and start chasing after you, you can throw that down, and then they'll run off. They'll go. Well, I guess they're always hostile unless you have gold, right? That's the whole point of wearing gold in the nether. That's how you keep them from coming after you. We got a little bit of time, right? We're not in a total rush. Oh, of course. That's alright, we got time. Double you up. Yeah, there's gold up there. Yeah, we'll see that in future construction efforts. Yeah, that's some... Oh! That's not some mad skills. Oh, come on! There was nowhere left for that block to go. Well, I'm gonna assume that all that quartz made it to it. Oh, there! I didn't think there was a block up there. Or gap. So I thought there was a block up there. Alright. That's why I usually just leave those alone, but hey, we got a few more. Shiny, look. I'm as bad as a pigman. Hey. I wanted that. Now we know how there were gaps that the quartz could get stuck in. Okay. Come on. Let's get back. We got places to be. Things to do. Shiny. You guys just have to know that, you know, if we don't do it now, it's going to distract me at some other time, so may as well. Alright, that's now all a mess because of that lava on the other side. So what were we saying about hockey? Oh yeah, playoffs. I thought they did an awesome job. This is the National Hockey League, which is silly because hockey is one of the more international sports. I know we have baseball and basketball in Canada and the United States as well, but truly, you know, hockey, Canada is kind of claims hockey is their game. And certainly in North America, you know, it is theirs in the sense of investment and, you know, the people actively playing it. Though you can basically play it outdoors all winter across the entire country of Canada. So yeah, they got a good pull towards it. The Northeast, Midwest, and Northwest of the United States kind of, you know, likes to take pride in all the hockey history and culture that those areas have too. But you know, it's truly an international sport, and yet we call the league is the National Hockey League. Silly, unless you just, you know, consider it Hockey Nation. It's a nation without borders. But oh, I should have switched. And we want to cook this. That away while we can. So they did a really good job with the playoffs. They had, while the NBA was having all kinds of issues with getting a bubble set up and getting their players to conform into a bubble, the Hockey League just decided, hey, since we don't really know, you know, how this is all going to play out, what we're going to do is pick 2 cities in Canada, and it was Calgary and I'm not sure what the eastern one was. Was it in Toronto or Montreal? I'm not sure where they ended up having the other side of the bracket, but basically said, hey, we're not going to fight this. What we think is the best way to do it is kind of just make it hockey camp, right? And ironically, I think anybody that's grown up playing hockey is probably more adapted to it because as a kid, you definitely, you know, you went away at lots of times to really train up hockey. Even as a kid, you know, you'd go and stay, you know, for a few weeks at a time in the summer, just, you know, constantly work skills. And that was how ex or current players, you know, maybe minor league type guys and stuff that weren't in their own seasons would make money. They'd, you know, train kids. So, you know, whether it was locally or, like I said, stay away type stuff, you'd go and play in these camps, you know, a couple games a day, and then drills and dry land training and all the rest. That, you know, they teach you all kinds of hockey stuff, how to be a better player. So for the elite players, this is nothing new. Maybe they haven't had to do it as adults, but that wasn't apparently wasn't as big a deal. They were all very receptive to going into a bubble, it seemed. And ooh, oh no, wait, we got a bunch more in this box, right? Is that where we put it all? I don't think we put anything in these. Oh, we did put a bunch of just trash. Might as well clean up here at the end of the episode. Alright, let's pull all this junk out. Flesh. Bones. Strings. No arrows. That'll be a fun surprise. Now, eyes. Brains can go over here. They're membranes, I know, but they look like brains and they're partly called brains, so good enough. Eyes or pearls we've got down here. Oh, here. And sand. I was like, how do we not have a sandbox? It's a sandbox. Alright, gravel's right back here too. As long as we're here. I bet we had more gravel down in the ender chest. Sorry, this is a little discombobulated, but we're all going to get through it. Okay. Blackstone is what I'm going to put away. And a bunch of gravel. Riveting stuff here. That's not gravel. Okay, upstairs. Upstairs, just trash. I really need to get a trash system going. Now, hopefully, we'll have enough here to get our pick set up. I think we had leftovers last time anyways. We got more in the chest if we need it. And probably already by now we got more netherite finished. Quite halfway done yet. So let's try again to talk hockey. They did a bubble system. It worked really well. They had the West Conference in one side, they had the East Conference in another city. The teams, stayed in what I would imagine were basically cleared out hotels because nobody else was traveling at that point. They played at, whatever the pro arena was. There were no fans, it was just them. And I think individual teams stayed kind of as themselves, and, where appropriate would just have the contact around the game. And they did lots of testing and all that kind of stuff. What everybody was trying to get to. They, whether through luck or good planning or whatever, they had a minimum of interruption in their playoffs. So it went really well. Lots of people watched, and because the season just stopped and they I'm like, what? That's exactly what I want to do, is get the individual pieces. Because the regular season had just stopped right, in March or whenever the everything shut down. They had to figure out a way to, get all the teams into the playoffs, figure out seeding and all that kind of stuff. And they'd had these play-in games, lots of visibility, lots of people watching because there was nothing else going on. And I think they really got a big bump out of having this. The NBA, unfortunately, had a few fits and starts, and everybody, there was a lot of the George Floyd social justice stuff going on as well. So hockey and basketball, everybody kind of shut down a few times to acknowledge and mark that changes had to be made around those kind of things. But I think basketball struggled more with some of the testing and actually having people get sick and having some more extended interruptions as they were trying to get going. So for a bit there, hockey was the only thing going, and I think they really did a good thing. Well, in my eyes at least, they've kind of wasted a lot of that, and it's been a real shame in my sense that they knew they were going to have a shortened year this year. So, and kind of rightly, they decided, well, we're going to make all the play focus around the divisions. And for people that don't know, there's two conferences, East and West, and then there's two divisions in each. So yeah, I don't even know what they recalled them. It was like the North and the West on the western side, and the East and the South or something, and the East. I don't know. It's tough to try to keep track what various sports teams do in terms of naming at the best of times, much less when you're not sure how far they're going to go. So they, in the interest of virus prevention, spread, and all that kind of stuff, they made it so the teams would play each other within their divisions, which is I think it varies a little bit conference to conference, but there's like 8 teams per division, and then another I don't know, something like that. So they you ended up with a lot of the same matchups, which was my team is Colorado, and so I'm a big fan of it. That's where I live, and they're generally year in and year out pretty good. They've been through some recently very good years, but in the last 10, most of those have been kind of at the bottom of the league as they've tried to come out of the late 90s, early 2000s when they were an elite team as well. So, growing pains. Any sport, any team is gonna go through some of that kind of stuff. All right, let's put you up there, put you there. Ooh, forgot about those. They kind of blended in with the stuff. Now, this was what I said. I'm gonna lose these, so where should I put them? Oh, there they are. All right, the rest of this just goes upstairs, right? We put our fortune pick away. I think it's in there, I hope. These are all still silk. We want one of those. And I know we kind of talked to the shovel, and it would be good since we only have one of them, but I do kind of think at the moment we need picks. At least to here, so that we can get a couple of these going at a time. Those, and just kind of leaning them in or layering them in all different patterns, just to let you guys know it doesn't matter. You can put them in whatever order. All right, so second pick equipped. Very good. Let's just tidy up the rest of this little bit of trash. Top those off. Top those off. And, you know, not try. Leather is certainly good. The helmet is kind of stupid because I think we're done. Yeah, we're done with all those. Did we ever make a trash cactus or anything? I don't think so. We should really get that going. They're just so in the way. How are we doing on time? A few more odds and ends. 1:52. We got 8 minutes. Do we have any more? Oh, we need to refill that bucket of milk too, right? First things first. Down here. Doesn't seem like a very fast run down the stairs. None of this seems... Run! Run, man, run! And you should swap out there. There we go. Wow. Yep. Now... don't want this in a potential problem area. Future expansion being what it may be. For now, let's just go there. There. I don't think we're going to be putting any blocks down or anything. Now the real trick will be with this, that we actually make our shots. Alright, we got a trash system. Let's just go grab another bucket of lava just so we have one, and then we need to get a bucket of milk too. Fair enough. Always good to just have one around in case we find we need it. Cows are like, oh yeah, somebody said you're gonna milk us because pressure hurts any day now. We've got to. Let's pull this out. Do the old switcheroo. Go. And some milk in the cow. Oh, can we get the flag? How about that? Should we wait for sunset? Let the sky get nice and orange too. Hope that won't run us over too much on the time, but we need a good thumbnail. The last one we loaded had a nice, well, it was just kind of random. I just did the application of the netherite to the first pick. That was something a little different for a thumbnail. We'll see if that gets any views, but yeah, I wish I could kind of angle this just right enough to show the milk as something more than just a flat deal. Like, hold up my hands. Come on. Last little. Oh, wait, I was going to get the. Alright, well, I guess we'll go for the more starry. Oh, this isn't even going to be in there. Now I can't see the cows. Oh, what a disaster. Alright. Fair enough. Let's get inside before it gets dangerous out here. Hey, S'more. How's your flower? Taking good care of it? Good. Okay, so this was an extra bucket of milk now. We are low on torches. Ooh, we need to make some. I'm not going to do all that right now, I don't think. Well, it's always better to get stuff done. And there's not even a full... Take some down, some of the extras down. Wop. 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 Blop. Blop. And some more sticks. Boy, if only we knew where to find a whole bunch of coal. Oh, that's right. We have a full other base where we can get all that. Yeah, we're a little low, but definitely not too worried about it now. In very good shape, so... Yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag ending on... stare looking at the team colors here. Team Guava Jelly Gang. Definitely a little bit of a mixed bag, mostly in the netherite department. I wish we'd been a bit more productive, getting more, but not something we need to be too terribly worried about, because we'll get some more potions brewed up, and we can keep working that process. But I think with 2 picks, we've gotten a few. So maybe next episode we change our focus to something a little different. But for now, I think we've pushed the limits. Let's get saved up out of here. Read more books. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Minecraft. You couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. Go, it doesn't have to be some deep, intellectual, fancy book. It can be a whatever book, like little books. Just find something that interests you and see if there's anything that you can learn about said thing, whatever it may be, in book form. So for now, I want to thank you guys very sincerely. I greatly appreciate you. We're seconds. We're going over 2 hours. I'm sorry. Really do appreciate you guys hanging out. Hope you're enjoying the content here, and hope to see you back for more. If you are, or if you have any recommendations or feedback, please feel free to leave a like or a comment. I like to see those when they do come in. It's certainly a trickle as opposed to a flood, but I appreciate the ones that I do get. That's very cool to see, and I hope you guys feel welcome to do that, because I'd love the feedback, good or bad. So keep them coming when they do. And for now, and as always, I ask, if you're playing a game or watching a bunch of videos, take the opportunity to get up, stretch your legs. It's a little dampish. I closed my blinds, so I don't know if it's still actively raining, but it was. So I may have to bundle up and go out and stretch my legs, just see what all's going on outside for a bit here while the daylight holds. But you guys take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time right back here. Bye now.